Good morning. I was muted. Bright and early for me to be doing a live. I usually don't do them at this hour, but how is everyone today? So, we got good questions here. Good questions. I see Hilarious. I see Jamie. I'm just going to star some of these comments. Let me see. Sonia, I see you're saying finances, but is that for you or just the financial climate? Let me know. Is month a good month for finances? I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm gonna kick it off. So I had a couple of things. Couple of things are going on. I had a psychic score, so we're gonna do a little celebrating. You ready? So I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, I predicted that the Biebers, Justin and Haley, were gonna be making a baby on the way. And sure enough, it was announced yesterday they are expecting. So that is terrific. I always like it when I get confirmation like that. Super cool. So let's kick it off with them. Let's just see how things are going. I know there was some weirdness going on with Justin. There's a lot of conversation. I'm just moving one of my monitors out of the way, guys. You can see my straight jacket in the background. Don't ask. But let's just take a look at the Biebers. Okay. So I did a little bit of a different setup. Did a little bit of a different setup here. Just it's a little bit easier for me to reach. So let's see how Justin is feeling about all this baby stuff. Ace of Swords, leveling up. The Knight of Swords, Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this is going to be a very Seven of Swords in reverse. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky change of pace for him. So what's going to happen? He's embracing this. Let me just move my mic a little bit, guys. We're still set up from the psychic news report when I have Rob over here and we're both in the studio. So if you're not already subscribed, go on over there. We're booming over there. I just did an interview with friends of mine that are paranormal investigators. I loaded that up last night. Good morning, Prima. Good afternoon to you, dear. We're going to do lots of featurettes. We have a bunch of featurettes planned for this week. So I'm going to help do the production on some of those. So it's going to be really, really fun. Hi, Sharon. I see you in the comments. So over here, this baby for Bieber, this Bieber baby. Hi, Dev. Dev's down there suffering in crazy storms. So everybody give Deb a little bit of magic in the comments here. Let me give her a little bit of magic. There you go. Some magic for you to stay safe. I know those dogs are going to be a little annoyed that they have to stay in. They're going to be spooked because there's thunder and lightning and very, very frightening whatnot. So everybody throw Deborah a little bit of magic in the comments. Just throw some emojis up there for her. So those of you that are just strolling in, we're reading on Justin Bieber and the announcement that him and Haley are having a baby. So this is going to bring him to another level of adulthood. So I think it's a good thing. But he is going to struggle with it a little bit. So nobody tells you, and those of you that are parents in the comments, you kind of know this, like it's really a trial by fire when you have kids. I remember when I was leaving the hospital with my daughter who was premature and 4 pounds, 14 ounces, this little tiny package. I'm rolling out and they've got me in the in the wheelchair, and I was a full grown woman. I was 34 years old. And all I was thinking was like, I was looking around going, I can't believe they're letting me leave with this baby. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I can't believe they're letting me leave. Justin's going to have kind of that moment. He's going to have some moments where, oh, Sue Potter, thank you so much, honey. I'm going to read for you in just a second. You sit tight. You sit tight. So he's going to have that moment where he just is going to be like, what am I doing? Oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, Anna Perkins, my mother would agree with that, because I'm the baby of 4, and I make my parents crazy. So why wouldn't I? I'm an internet psychic. Why wouldn't I make them crazy? Here though, he's gonna be really he's not going to be a duck to water on this parenting thing, but he's going to embrace it, and he's going to stumble a little bit. He's going to do some stupid things, but I'm going to say it right now. I think he's going to do some stupid things on the level of Britney Spears driving with the baby on her lap to get away from paparazzi. Not that exact thing, but he's going to make some stupid mistakes like that, because he is really going to be under this microscope. I'm going to make these cards a little bit bigger, because I don't think you guys can see them quite as well, because they're the itty bitty ones, and we'll drop it down a little bit. How about that? I think that's a little bit easier to see. So we'll just move over. We got plenty of real estate here. Plenty of real estate in Studio A. Our friend Corey renamed our basement Studio A. So, and we actually had dinner down here last night. We had subs, and it was really fun. We had some dinner in the basement. My son was like, "This is pretty cool." So, he's going to be somewhat exposed with the paparazzi, and with just with the interest in them having a baby. We all still think of Justin Bieber as a little kid, even though he's got a beard, and he's full grown adult. And that's going to make him lose his footing a little. The main thing that he has to do is not be shady, and that's his inclination. His inclination is to be extremely private about it, almost being cut from like the same cloth as the Sussexes. We're going to get to them in a minute. And that's just a dumb move, because the more you pull it away, it's like a dog. If you pull something away from a dog, they're going to go for it. He has to listen to better advice. He's got some people that are advising him a little bit poorly on this one. How's Haley going to do? Let's see how Haley's going to do. I already know she's going to carry beautifully. She's in great shape. She's not going to love being pregnant. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think she's going to have a bit of discomfort as far as like morning sickness. I think all of that business is not what she signed up for. And we all kind of feel that way. If you have a rough beginning part of the pregnancy, or if it's a challenging pregnancy. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a rough beginning for her, in terms of the physical adjustments that your bodies make. Oh my God, Penny, they said she's 6 months already. Holy smoke. Wow. Hello, Miss Mel. How are you, my love? I owe you guys a call. We gotta get on the phone or on a Zoom or something. So it's 6 months already. Wow. Well, maybe. Who knows? So I do think that there's a bit of a struggle with morning sickness, that, kind of the messy part of being pregnant. I think also it's kind of droning on and on. Now, Penny, I'm going to say this, because you said they're saying she's 6 months already. The King of Cups, this is a summer card. You might be right. If she's 6 months, that means that baby's due in the summer. So that may be correct. But it also is saying, she's going to be much more relieved once we get the baby out. I think much more relieved. So there's this powerlessness over her body, and I think there's some concerns about the delivery part of it. It just feels like it's a very scheduled and planned kind of situation. So but all in all, what are we going to get? Are we going to get a boy or a girl? Let's see if we get a card. We had 3 of Pentacles. That doesn't tell me much. Tells me they're keeping it quiet. 8 of Swords. 4 of Swords. The cards aren't telling me anything. Let's do some pendulum work. Let's see. What kind of baby are we getting? All right. Straight line is a boy. I'm cutting in and out again. I think it's from me just moving. All right. So circle is a girl. Straight line is a boy. You ready, boys and girls? I think we have Circle Town. Oh, Grumpy Sapper, you are cheeky. I think we got Circle Town. I think it's Circle Town for them. So I'm calling girl. I'm saying girl. I'm on a psychic spree here. So let's see. Jamie, start with you, honey bunny. So we did talk about 45's trial, well, his trials. We talked about a number of things on the psychic news report. So if you're not subscribed there, go. Well, not right now. Go after the live, but there's a link in the description of my video. You can jump over and subscribe there. I did a cool interview with some paranormal investigators last night. My friends JT, I call him Jonathan, and Sandy, and that was a sneer sloppy shuffle. So what is the jury thinking about 45? What is the jury thinking? So we can do this a couple of different ways. We can do the consensus of the jury right now. We can do the consensus, or we can do the individual jurors. If you want to see, we'll do both. So what is it? How many people are on a jury? 12? Is it 12? I don't know. I obviously have never been in trouble. So we got 1, still needs more information. 2, 1 thinks that the whole situation's over. 3, we've got 1 who's ready to give him a pass. This is a quit. 1 that says no go. So we'll put these more information. This is hard to see. This one's a no. These are a quit or not guilty. And this one needs more information. So we've got 2, 4, 6. This one is a quit. 7. This one needs more information and is sick of being there. 7. King of Wands. That one's an a quit. 8. This one says no. 9. This one says lock them up. 10. This one needs more information. 11. This one says let's get out of here. 12. This one needs more information. So it's not really well balanced. If we're looking at, strictly the numbers and we're looking at 12, it looks like most of them are like, let's get out of here. This is a nothing burger. We're done here. There's 3 holdouts, but 4 need more information so they can kind of tip the scales on this. So that's something to be aware of. So let's just see how the jury is now leaning. So this is a little bit different. These are the individuals, but this would be more the conversation that they're having when they are together. So like this leans more toward the deliberation. Something is going to hold this up, guys, and I don't think it's a person. I think it's going to be the instructions from the judge. I think, hi, Foxy, sweetie pie. So here, everybody's working together with all the information at hand. Here, they say, okay, this is our outcome. We're ready to go. And then we get stopped. We get stopped and presented with more instructions with this Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to send you back. I want you to deliberate more. So it's almost like I know this can't happen, but it's like they come out and they say, we're good, here's our verdict. And he goes, no, 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 I want you to go back and think about it a little bit longer. You weren't there long enough. And I know that can't happen in a court of law. Under the surface, they need to set this hook. So those of you that aren't fishermen or fisherwoman, you throw the string in the string. Clearly, I'm not a fisherman. When the fish nibbles, you pull a little bit and you set the hook in their mouth. It's really awful, but they need to set this hook. They need to set the hook. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know enough about law to really, and I'm very fortunate. I've never had to be in like a trial like this. Yeah, I got jury duty once, twice. Once, and I was so bummed out. It was after I sold my house in LA, and I got the notice like 3 days before the moving truck was leaving, and I was like, "Dang it! I really wanted to serve on a trial in LA." And then I got it. I got it once again here, but I was passed over. They didn't want my opinion. So there it is. So let's jump on over to this. And again, if you guys have questions for yourself, super chats and super stickers, or you could do Cash App, but make sure you put your questions in bold, big, bright, beautiful, bold letters so I can see them. And if you want pop culture, just chat it in the comments as well and make it bold. So we're going to look at, Sonia, we're going to look at like general economy. Okay. Now, I had some disturbing information about our school system. So our local public school system here lost about, I think it was $20 million of state funding. And everyone is up in arms. And the worst case scenarios that they're talking about are quite troubling. Let's put it that way. So elimination of kindergarten, elimination of all electives, elimination of all sports except for varsity sports. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think something different is going to happen. I think they're giving like a worst case scenario, so that everyone's like, oh, thank God, when we don't get that. So let's see if May is going to be good for finances. I need my buddy Thor Sandalwood here with his charts. So I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial wizard, but I am a psychic, so it's a little wizardy. What I would say is that long range goals and investments are better. The star is a long range card. We're looking at things far into the future. So with this, keep any investments, any planning that you have in place, keep that where it is. Don't eliminate any of that. So oh, Deb, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. They didn't lose students. Apparently basing the state funding on the assessment value of homes rather than like the actual count. I don't know. I didn't go to the meeting, so I'm kind of over it. So my kid's almost out of school. I'll teach him at home. So long range investments, the solid ones, the ones that aren't fluctuating, stick with those. Those are going to be your best bet. Don't make any radical changes. Minor investments and changes are advisable, but be prepared to stick with them for the long run. So, this all says do long run stuff. Keep your investments in the long run. And also don't invest if you can't afford to. Keep it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Only invest if you've got the spare cash floating around. Okay. So over here, don't make any abrupt moves, and also don't pull out of your investments. That's this one here. It says don't pull, don't do the run on the bank like George Bailey and It's a Wonderful Life. And under the surface, we should always lean into our professionals here. Professionals that have a very close eye on the economy is really a good idea. So, is May a good month for finances? May is a good month to tread water and to kind of stay where you are and keep your long range finances in place. Again, consult a professional. I am not a professional, I am a psychic. If I was a financial wizard, I wouldn't be working still. So let's put it that way. So let's go back up here. And we got Sue Potter. Sue Potter, thank you so much for your donation. Again, if you want your own reading, guys, throw a donation in there. Super chat, super stickers, or any of the cash apps. If you want a pop culture reading, go ahead and chat it in. All requests must be in bold. Otherwise, I'm not going to see them because they're going to float right by. So, and Anna Perkins, I'm just going to bring up yours for a second. Best advice from Adam Faith: never invest what you can't afford to lose. Correct. Never borrow to invest. All good advice. We go back to Sue Potter there. Back to Sue Potter. Oh, a sloppy shuffle right on my keyboard. Sue Potter, this is for you for the weekend. So, Sue, fun advice here. And there's the Empress card. That's our Mother's Day card. So, I think you have Mother's Day the same time as America in Canada. I don't know if you celebrate the Mother's Day, the British Mother's Day. I always used to mess that up with my former mother-in-law, with Angus's grandma. So you're at odds this weekend because you don't really want to be in charge of stuff, but you need to get some stuff done. So delegating the responsibilities is not really something that works for you. It's almost like you want to kind of do you want to do it because you're going to do it right. You're going to do what needs to be done the way you want it to be done. But I want you to reflect back. This is a weekend of reflection for you. It's also a weekend of just kind of chilling out. Okay. Just chill out. Like, take it easy. Reflect on how this has affected you before. Has it been effective for you to not delegate responsibility? So, and I know that was a bunch of double negatives there, but doing things, has it been depleting you and exhausting you? If you delegate responsibilities to individuals, you're not going to be depleted and exhausted, but the taxes on that are sometimes that it's not done exactly the way you want. But here's the fun thing: it's mostly done. So you get the parcel out the heavy lifting, and then you can kind of do the tinkering and you can do the decoration up here with this Empress card. You should be a queen this weekend. You should put your feet up. You should relax. You should take it easy. Under the surface, there's lots of people here to help you. You just have to delegate to them. So I think that that is a much better course for you this weekend. We need to settle your soul here. We need to settle the idea of I need to do it because if I don't fold the towels right, they're not going to be right. Now, I'm one of those people. The towels, there's a specific way the t-shirts and towels get folded in my house, and I refold everybody's laundry. Greg, I drive nuts because I reload the dishwasher. But it's not that I reload it. I just kind of put things back to where, like, so we can get more in there. It's just the way I do things. So, that being said, so I'm just gonna scroll up. Oh, and Foxy, you are right. You are right, Penny. You are right. And here's a good tidbit from Anna Perkins, my favorite Ferengi. Profit is everything. If you intend to invest in retail, take a walk around the store and see what the footfall is. Marks and Spencer's is a good example of one that fell from grace on May occasions. Empty stores not good. Yeah, yeah. It's it's kind of wild what's going on in the world right now in terms of stores and what's going on. It's really kind of bananas. Oh, absolutely. You have financial people coming. Yes, stop being a perfectionist. You're not the only one that can do it all. That's one of the things that is really hard for some moms to um, to understand. So and I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Grumpy Sapper because Grumpy Sapper got into a fight with Mr. Jack Daniels. So there's a song by the Reverend Horton Heat. I'll find it for you, and it's yeah, it's like Jack Daniels like kicked my butt last night. We've all been there. We've all been there. So we are a friendship group, Foxy. Foxy, I want you to wish your mom a very, very happy American Mother's Day on Sunday. We do Mother's Day on Sunday. We do it on a different day than you guys. So it make her feel special. Make her feel like a special American mom. So, all right, let's talk. Since I don't have any requests in the chat, I wanted to talk about Meghan and Harry because I know you guys love that. So we're going to talk about Meghan and Harry. They have landed in Nigeria. Meghan has a practically backless dress on at a school, but she did opt to wear a peach color, not beige. Real Housewives recaps, Jen over there with her flock of geese called it page page, I think she called it. So let's see how the reception was. They went to a school. Actually, we're gonna back up. We're gonna go to the flight. On the flight, apparently they hung up a curtain to block them from other people in first class, but they did take a commercial flight. So why'd they take that commercial flight? And again, guys, this is filler. So if you have questions, you can chat them in. Why did they take the commercial flight? Because nobody was interested in helping them fake work. And no one wanted to do. Wow, they're broke. They are broke, guys. This was oof. So the reason for the commercial flight was they couldn't get a lift. They couldn't get anybody to pick up the tab on that. They couldn't get anybody to put it together for them. What they tried to do was like a barter thing. I don't want to say barter thing, but it was like a sponsorship. Yeah, Deb, I didn't think she was going to go either. I did not think she was going to go. But you know what? When we did our reading on the Psychic News Report, if you're not subscribed over there, go on over, subscribe. We're doing some cool stuff over there. Deb is on that channel as well. She's doing a bang up job. She's an amazing psychic. She is a student of mine, and she's one of my best students that I've ever turned out. So, Deb, I think you're fantastic. So, this business of them going over, taking the commercial flight, was they just couldn't put together like some kind of a barter deal with another organization. Like I hate to say, like, you call up, like, I can't remember the name of the company, but there's a charter jet company, and it's kind of like that boat company where you pay a monthly fee and you could just use a charter jet anytime you want. So and I'm just going to pull up Anna Perkins' comment too. There, there we go. There we go. So they were trying to get a deal like that, but no one would do it because there was no ROI, there was no return on investment for the companies that they reached out to, or the partnerships that they reached out to. They were like, we're not even sure what the point of this trip is. Like, are you going on vacation, or are you going to work? It doesn't seem like a work trip. This is a bad sign. Now, the sad squirrel, this is a specific card for this deck. There's a sad squirrel and a happy squirrel. The sad squirrel, when he's in the upright, is like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum. When we go into the reverse, this is scorched earth. This is that kid that is being dragged out of the store, that little kid being dragged out of the store by his mom by one arm, pitching a holy fit the whole way out the door. That's what this is. And this is Madam deciding that she really doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Let me grab a sip of my Gregopedia water. Gregtoberfest. Gregtoberfest is forever. So this is her really not wanting to be a part of this. And I get this. I actually was in a relationship with two separate individuals that were horrible to travel with, absolutely nightmarish. They were like the last thing I ever wanted to get on a plane. And I love the airport and I love traveling. I have no problem waiting. You read a book. Like, stop. What are you complaining about? You just read a book. Under the surface, they really thought that people were going to be like, yeah, hey, just here you go. Here's money. Take a flight. The business of the flight, there was poor judgment on this. We're going to find out what that is, because I think it's the attitude that they went on the plane with. So they went in, presumably first class, and they had a curtain put up. They had a curtain put up so that other people in first class couldn't see them. What was that all about, and how was it received? Let's tell a story. I'm important. We are important people. We don't want people to not see us working, but we want them to think that we're working. We want them to think that we're very, very busy and very, very wealthy. But everyone kind of saw through that nonsense. And this was an effort to make themselves feel better with this Three of Swords in reverse. This was an effort to make them feel better that they couldn't hitch a ride on somebody's private jet, somebody's situation. And I know the military in Nigeria contributed to them coming over. So, maybe they couldn't get their flights paid. Maybe they were trying to get on a military jet. I don't know. There was did they ask our military to transport them? Let's just ask it for fun. Yeah. Yeah. I think they were looking for almost like an ambassador kind of hitch a ride there. Hey, can we get a lift? I know she did ask if they could get on Air Force One at one point. So I think that maybe they were asking for a little bit of diplomatic assistance here. But it wasn't a diplomatic trip. It's not. They're going on vacation. They're basically going on vacation. They're creating a situation that they need to be there. So they thought they were a Mac. This is the magician. He thought he was a Mac. It's from the movie Friday. He think he'd a Mac. So, oh, Namawambo. As an African from South Africa, welcome. I dated a guy from South Africa. His name was Murray McPhee. He was super handsome and way smarter than me. Super, super handsome. Super nice guy. We went to college together. Did not date him long, but loved his accent. So absolutely sloppy shuffle. One card on the floor. How was the reception? Energetic. The Four of Swords is energetic, and they were welcomed. So, measured response, but not what they wanted. It was not the response they wanted. They wanted something bigger. There wasn't enough unbridled enthusiasm for them. This is a desperate effort to regain some kind of control, some kind of importance. Under the surface, we know that, if the imagery that I see psychically is they're in a bathtub and the plug has been pulled out and all of the water is drained out. It's just draining. All of that energy is draining. Is this in a reflection? I'm going to pull out another deck. We're doing a clarifier deck, guys. Is this a result of the poor reception in London? And all I'm hearing is do, do, do. The number you have reached is no longer in service. Please hang up and dial again. Yeah, his ineffectuality is on full display. And we get the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Moon, and the Seven of Cups. The world is now his oyster. He can do whatever he wants. He's been freed up to do whatever he wants. So they've kind of cut him loose. I think this trip was a sign that you are cut loose. You could do whatever you want, but we're not going to endorse it. We are not going to endorse this. And all accounts are now saying that that's pretty much why the king didn't meet with him, because it could have potentially been construed as some kind of input on the trip. So, how unfortunate for what a tremendous miscalculation. This is like the miscalculation of all time. So, how is the remainder of this trip going to go? How is the remainder of this trip going to go? Let's just see. Actually, hang on. We're gonna stick with Nomawabo. Our new friend from South Africa. How are people outside of the organized event viewing this? How are people viewing this outside the organized event? General population. It's tone deaf. That's the high priestess is tone deaf. It's not seeing, not feeling, not understanding anything around. King of Pentacles. There's some kind of money deal that's going on. He's there for a money deal that is probably going to fall apart. So have no fear. There's a reason for this trip. It's not just vacation. It is not just vacation. 8 of Cups, they're going to walk away with nothing in hand. This was a fresh start for them. This was an attempt to have a fresh start, but they're going to walk away with nothing in hand. This was a silly move. The general population, because I'm reading on this, the population outside of the structured events that they're going to attend are going to see this. It's going to be, seen as very shady. There's something a little bit corrupt, but they're the worst part is they're not shady enough to even get in with the corrupt people. It's like they're, any way they turn, it's just a disaster. All right. So how is the remainder of the trip going to go? So they're trying to put together some kind of shady money-making deal. And here, Grumpy, I'm going to put yours up there. Grumpy, thank you for being such an amazing wrench. Part of the mod squad, part of the amazing mod squad. Deborah's right there with you. How's the rest of the trip going to go? How's the rest of the trip going to go? We're going to do 2 layers on this. We're going to do, how's it going for Harry? How's the rest of the trip going to go for Harry? This is personally and professionally. It's a bad judgment. But he actually feels pretty good being there. He's going to be sad to leave. And he's not going to see many options outside of it. He is going to tell Megan that he feels very much at home in Africa, and maybe that's where they need to be. Maybe that's where he needs to be. How is she going to feel? She's going to be relieved after the trip. There's nothing for us there. There's no interest, no future for us there. I'm not going. You can go if you want. She'll be happy. This will be a great excuse. If he decides that he wants to, that he feels at home in Africa, she's going to say, well, that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. I'm going to stay at our fancy house in Southern California. So you do you. And then everyone will maybe feel bad for her because Harry decided to go to another continent. I don't know. I've been in relationships where I wanted to go to a different continent. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Let's check in on the king. Let's check in on the king. King Charles III. How's that dude feeling? That's emotional. That is emotional. And he's having a little bit of trouble getting to work. There's a broken heart here, moving swiftly away from it and leaning into his queen, trying to throw himself into his work. But this emotional upheaval over here has really disrupted his work. So what happened with that? Let's tell a little story with this mini Llewellyn Classic deck. I love this little mini Llewellyn Classic deck. This one I use for clarifying. It also travels with me. It goes places. It's a pretty little deck based on rider weight. A little bit of a more attractive imagery on it than the traditional rider weight. I've been doing a lot of flip throughs on my channel. So what caused this heartbreak that's interfering with his work? Ace of Wands, not restarting. And that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the poor ideas that are not getting off the ground. Two of Cups and the 10 of Cups. This is breaking apart of the happy family. That's what it is. Breaking apart of the happy family. This is the line in the sand. He has now protected himself with that 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles he's really kind of holed up into the people that he can trust. He's got his inner circle. He's got his inner circle. King of Pentacles, he has to preserve the family, and sometimes justice is hard with the justice in reverse. This isn't an injustice that's done to anyone, but sometimes being the judge is a very difficult position to be in, an awful position for him to be in. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So what is Miss Camilla doing for him? She is bringing him back to projects that he is going to be able to invest himself in, things that will yield results from his efforts, and paring away any of the fanciful kind of ideas. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. So any of the fanciful ideas he's going to pare away. So that makes a lot of sense. You know, just it's going to be fruitful ideas only. High Priestess, we're not, again, High Priestess in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Any of these ideas that people are coming to him, you know, like when you're brainstorming and you're sitting around, you're just spitting ideas at each other. He can't entertain those. He has to cast them right out of hand. He has to go, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. You know, getting that decision making down. There's something a bit more terse about him than Queen Elizabeth, even though he is an emotional character. There's something a bit terse about him when it comes to business. His no is no. No means no. So our friend Frank is like that. I always make fun of him because he's like, no. And I'm like, ooh, Frank, this is a little rough. He yelled at Greg one day, and Greg was like, ooh, he yelled no. So Camilla is supporting him in that, making those decisions. Again, not moving forward in fanciful ideas with that Fool in reverse, but the Queen of Swords. Use your logic. And you know, the reading that I did, I don't know if it was with Thor or if it was with Deborah on the Psychic News report. One of the things that I found, I think it was the one that I did with Deborah. If you want, mosey on over there after this and go check it out. He was really functioning as a man, not as a father and not as a monarch. He was making decisions with Harry as a man. If this were an employee, if this were a friend, if this were an individual that I just had to interact with no blood relation, and I wasn't the sovereign, how would I deal with this person? So I think that is a unique way of looking at things. And I don't know if that's how Queen Elizabeth looked at things. Let's take a look at that. Let's see if that's a lesson that she learned, or that he learned from the late Queen Elizabeth. So did King Charles learn to function as a man and not as a parent or a sovereign from his mother? Was that something she did? I'm going to say yes. Yes, because that Hierophant, we are putting things to bed. And when that Ace of Pentacles, we're getting back to basics. The Nine of Cups is to cast off all of your finery and get down to just that purest happy place. So to just become a man, to put down the crown, to put down the fatherhood, and to just become a man, yes, that's a way to make an informed decision without any subjectivities, let's put it that way. So pretty wild, pretty wild. So he did that. It's something that is supported by the by his advisors, but his privy council, supported by the privy council. And it's an opportunity for him not to talk to his family, even though the privy council is dealing with the monarchy. I think there are individuals in there that allow him to kind of remove himself from being king and being father, so that he can make decisions on this. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. And it often leads him into this kind of thinking, I wish I could be just a regular dude. There's something about King Charles that reminds me very much, and you guys who follow me know I'm a student of Russian history, reminds me of Nicholas II. I think Nicholas II was a bit more cloistered, and the concept of Tsar is a little bit different from the king. The Tsar is actually the conduit to God, and the populace prayed to the Tsar to have him appeal to God on their behalf. A little bit different in this constitutional modern monarchy that we have. It's a little bit different. So uh guilty parenting. I think he does, but I think he's trying to get away from that, Anna Perkins. I think he's really trying to step away from it. Grumpy Sapper, personally, in my opinion, he will back out when he realizes the exposure of Meghan is a fraud. He will retreat to the UK for financial security. This is in the future, not immediate. Yeah, they're gonna have to tuck him away someplace, though. I mean, that's gonna go over like a Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin, so I I mean, like a real Led Zeppelin. Um, yes, 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 yes. Thank God for the Princess Royal. Yes, Princess Anne. She is fantastic. Watching Willie and Sicily, and he was asked about Catherine. She's doing well. Let's check in. Let's see how she's doing. Nobody's got personal questions, so we'll just do royal stuff. We'll just do royal stuff. Those of you that are shuffling in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit that like button. I'm doing personal readings and pop culture. If you want pop culture, just type it in all bold. And if you want personal readings, super chat, super stickers, or any of my cash apps, and then type it in bold so I can see it, because I'm not wearing my glasses. How is our Catherine doing? And there's so much conversation about her. Queen of Wands, resting, resting, resting. But sad squirrel. She's frustrated, very frustrated. Patience, patience, patience. King of Pentacles, High Priestess. So that Queen of Wands is sometimes a good sign. So I'll tell you why. Because when people are undergoing chemotherapy, which is essentially napalm for the soul, or for the body, you're basically napalming everything. When we see radiation, chemo, those kinds of things, we get that wand card, because it's hot stuff. It's hot stuff going through. The wands are represented by fire. The wands represent fire. So, sometimes when we see this in reverse, we're coming up on a close. We're not, we're wrapping up our treatment. So that could be a good thing. The bad news is that may be why we get this sad squirrel, because when you get that accumulation of chemotherapy, Yesenia, darling, how are you, my friend? Yesenia is another one of my students. She's awesome. We still have to do the 13th class. I hope, Ozzy's out of school by now, and we can set that up, and everybody can get their certificates from Tarot 101. If any of you are interested in becoming a tarot reader just for fun or for profit, you can send an email to me at FortuneCookiesTarot@gmail.com. I will have new classes coming up soon. I should have a summer class starting soon. So we may be coming up on the wrap up of the chemo. I don't think she's had radiation, but we may be coming up on the end of the chemo, but that accumulation of chemo kind of makes you a little uncomfortable and cranky, and we've got to get that out of our system. We did see in previous readings that I've done is that she's really chomping on the bit. She is a worker. She likes to do work. She likes to be involved, and keeping her in bed and telling her to be patient is not something she is interested in. So here patience is needed, but she is formulating some plans for things in the future. So it's almost like she's an architect. She's kind of drawing up plans for is it investiture? Investiture is that that's a word that's coming into my head. Investiture. I don't know if that's like a patronage, but there are things that she's planning for the future. But they keep telling her, you got to hold off. You got to hold off. You can't do it yet. You're not, you can't do this yet. So, again, she's not listening to her soul and her body. She's really got to do that. She's got lots of people helping her around her, but it's almost annoying to her because she's like, I really just want to be able to do this myself. So, good on her. Good on her. I think we're progressing very well. Do a couple cards on that. How is the progress going? 9 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Temperance, and I know this is the need, want, get format, but I'm not reading like that. This is just, how are we doing? So, I think they're going to be doing a little bit of tinkering with the application of medications. I think they're still going to be tinkering with that, and I think they're telling her she's not so much wrapped up. I think there's going to be a continued treatment. Like, so if they say you got to do 12 weeks of chemo, if they say you got to do 12 weeks or 3 rounds of radiation, that's the mile marker she's looking at, and she's like, okay, I'm going to be done. Just say May 30th. I'm just making up a date. They're going to tell her like a week before that, like, all right, we've got to do this for the next 12 weeks after that. So bye, Sue. Thank you. I will see you later. Thank you so much. I'm going to try and be over at the Hutches too on Sunday. So, I think there's going to be more, and I think she's going to be pretty annoyed at that there's going to be a little bit more that she has to do. So, it's okay. It's okay. It's a process. And sometimes it's not a fast process. Sometimes we gotta keep our foot lightly on the gas. So how is the Prince of Wales doing? Let's see how the Prince of Wales is doing. There's so many rumors about them, like that his explosive temperatures, temper is why the princess is no longer around. Like, come on. How is our Prince of Wales? Oh. And pull some clarifier cards on this. So he is swimming upstream right now. That 6 of Swords is really fighting the stream. We're going in a different direction. I'm not sure what this is about. Let's see who this is about. 6 of Swords in the upright. 9 of Swords in the reverse. Ace of Swords. Boy, this is a lot of swords. 4 of Pentacles. He is furious about the breach of their privacy. He does not want their privacy released. Is this about the pictures? Oh, he's done with the press. Yeah, he's done with the press. He's looking back on the cultivated relationship that they've had with the press. I think this is about the Photoshop scandal I think it's really about the Photoshop scandal, which is unfortunate. He really wants to protect her and his family from any further A word, can't say that A word. From the A word from the press. Really, it's unfortunate. He has learned his lesson, and with the glass nose, the openness that he's had with the press previously. You said, yeah, I see Sue's comment. Oh, Sue's comment disappeared. And I see your comment too. Yesenia, I see yours. I'm gonna come right back to you. So he's learned his lesson, and he is going to have a more measured approach. I think we're gonna see more of them having more agency over their publications. I think that Instagram is going to become a really good resource for them. I think they're going to be pushing that out rather than publishing to, sending out to the press and letting the press do it. Under the surface, for too long he has been out in the wind with them, so he's just not interested in doing it anymore. That level of protection, but it's a little bit of a battle. He's hot about this, and I can't blame him. It's an invasion of privacy. It's not okay. You really just shouldn't be. They shouldn't have fried her like that. Everybody photoshops. Come on, like, absolutely unnecessary. I know everybody makes fun of the other one and her clothing and whatnot. Hi, Julianne. Oh, and bye, Julianne. You're leaving. So let me see. We're gonna go back up here. Yesenia, did you have a specific question? Let me go back up. Do, 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 do. I don't see Yesenia. Let me know if you have a specific question. I'll start pulling cards for a general. We'll see what's going on. Julie, have a great day, Julianne. Love reading for Yesenia. Love reading. Who's this guy with the dark hair, Yesenia? Did he show up yet? Possible. Okay, I got a possible suitor. Guy with dark hair. So he's going to be a talker. This one. Definitely going to be a very chatty kind of guy, like almost manic kind of talker. Dark hair. It's not real thick hair, but it does have a curl to it, like a pretty springy kind of curl. But he doesn't have a lot of hair. I'm not saying he's balding, but he just has thinner hair. Like it's just not a lot of hair. I kind of like mine. Like I don't have a lot of hair. Like I just do with what I have. It's not. I don't want to say fine, but it's if I say sparse, it sounds like he's bald. He's not bald. But it's a like a springier hair, but like very very light. There's it's very light. It'll blow around in the wind. But it's springy curls that are about this long, so it's a little bit shaggy, but neat around the ears and around the nape of the neck. There's something about I don't wanna say he has a puffer jacket on, but it's like a white puffer kind of vest or jacket or something like that. So it's a little bit chilly. I know it's cold here. Yesenia is not far from me. So it's colder here over the next couple of days. So um maybe over the next couple of days, but it's wet, crazy weather. Um, the Home Depot, I hate to say on Route 9. Yeah, but it is the Home Depot. I'll text you. It's I can tell you where the Home Depot. I don't know if it's still there, but there's a I think there's a Dunkin' Donuts in front of it. I used to go there when I lived down by you. Um, but he's there and he's in the construction section and also in the garden section. So I don't know if he may even work there or he may be going there for work supplies, not work on his house. So there's a business aspect about him. He does go to the bar. He does go and he drinks. His beer is his drink of choice. He's not the best choice for you. He's going to be interested in you. Take your time with him because I don't think it's like pressure that he puts on you, but he'll be like, "What are we gonna go out or what?" Like he just doesn't really think before he speaks. So yeah, we can move this offline. Yes. Yeah, any of you that would like to get your own private reading, there's a link in the description down below. You can go to my website, Fortune Cookies Tarot. .com and there's a link in there. You can link to my scheduler. So anybody that would like to get your own private reading, please reach out to me. I do have a fairly clear weekend. I got to block out some time tomorrow because everybody's getting their hair cut. But I think I'm gonna get my hair cut like what's her face? Like Megan Fox just got a haircut and it's amazing. It's cute little bob with some bangs. So I may look different the next time you guys see me. But yeah, so this guy now that's not to say don't give him a chance. He's just gonna come off a little badly. He doesn't have a real good initial game. So we have another guy here. This is Mr. White T-shirt. We're going to call this guy. The other guy's Mr. Home Depot. This is Mr. White T-shirt. Mr. White T-shirt has lighter hair and a really good build. He's got really good shoulders and biceps. So I don't know what he does, if he goes to the gym or what, but he's like perpetually in a white T-shirt. This is somebody that you're going to be introduced to. So, and I think these are the best setups. The best setups are people like our friends that know us really well and they say, well, I got this friend that I think you would be a good match with. This is a setup. You've got somebody who's gonna can introduce you to this guy. Oh, and by the way, the first guy I think is coming off a marriage. I think the first guy is kind of like a bullet out of like a ball out of a cannon. He's like jumping into the dating scene. So like he's not really looking for like a long-term relationship and he's just not really skilled at impressing the ladies. So I did it just he may develop into something better, but that Mr. Home Depot, Mr. White T-shirt is a bit more conservative, not really out and about. I think there's kids. I think he has kids and they take up a lot of his energy and his time, not in a bad way. And I don't think he's really looking for anything. So it would almost be there's something about Top Golf, playing golf, mini golf, something about golf, frustrating game. So if any of your friends invite you out to go play golf or mini golf or go to a golf course, jump on that because Mr. White T-shirt is probably going to be there. Again, this is somebody you're going to think is not interested or not available. This is a number that you should get. This guy's a good guy. This one I like. This one, the first one I like. He's just a little hyper. He's just a little too intense, and a little too excited to like start dating again. Like oh, I'm really excited. It reminds me of in Santa Claus 2 when Santa goes out. Scott goes out with what's her face superstar and she's like singing the I can't remember the name of the gal. She was married to Mutt Lang. I know she was married to Mutt Lang. How about that? This ain't about Christmas. Yeah, yeah, I know you've seen the movie. When they go out and she's like really excited. She's like, yeah, I really like Christmas. He's just a little too eager. This one is kind of a still water that runs deep, Uh, so you said, I know but it's so easy with you. Like I can kind of find these guys. But yeah, I've done private readings for Yesenia. She's awesome. Hi, Nana. Welcome to the group. So, it's almost like this is a situation where he's not really looking, and but you guys kind of hit it off. You hit it off, but don't think that he's not available. All right, so that was a lot. We can talk more later. Like I said, I've got plenty of time. I think my Sunday is open. Saturday, I'm looking at my Saturday. Oh, actually, my Saturday is a little bit tight unless we go into Saturday night. Oh, so let me see. What is Alicia's question? Hi, Alicia. How are you? Oh, I know who this is. Hi, Alicia. So, are you meant to be in Dubai? Let's see. So Yesenia, we'll talk later. Text me. We'll talk later. We'll get together. I still gotta send you the Gregtoberfest invite. All right, Alicia, let's see how Dubai will go. You're supposed to be there. So, Alicia, Dubai, specifically Dubai for you, my dear. There's going to be, and I'm sorry, Grumpy, if you're going to get mad at me for saying this. There's going to be a certain amount of sadness that you'll have there. So hang on, I'm just making some notes. So there's a certain amount of sadness, like homesickness, that you're going to have if you go there. So and it's not from your homeland, but it's an individual or individuals that you're going to miss, because it's going to be like, if you go there, there are certain people that you're not going to see for a long time. You'll have to like kind of really plan like 6 months in advance, that kind of thing. And during that time, it's going to be like a very long jump between seeing them and not seeing them. It's like almost you're going to be pining away. However, you will love being there. So I don't want to say it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be like being on vacation every day, but you're going to love being there, and you'll have to come to terms with missing these people back here. It's almost like relegating some individuals to your past. You'll still be able to see them. It's not like you're saying goodbye, but it is like saying like so long. It's gonna be so long. So that's something that's always going to just kind of be like a little splinter in your heart. Like I love it. It's almost like you feel guilty because you're like, oh my God, I love it here. It's so amazing. I'm having a great time. I'm doing all these amazing things, but I left these people behind, and I just wish that they would come with me. That was, I moved to California. I live on the East Coast of the United States right now. and I was born and raised here, and I moved to California for I was like on and off for 10 years. I was back and forth there. And I lived in various parts of the state. I really never fit in there. But anytime like any of my friends came out, I was like, you should move here. It would be so cool. Like you would have such a great time. It has that kind of a vibe. Like you're going to want to import your people. And it's almost like you're going to become like the salesperson for Dubai. Like, hey, you should come to Dubai. It's going to be great. You're going to have a great time. Financially, I think you get a good start there. But it's going to cost you a bit to get there. So you're going to have to put that back in. So, that's something that's going to, so like, little luxuries, you're going to have to pass on them for a little bit, but that's anytime you make a significant move. But again, it's going to be like, oh, like you're going to have moments where you're like, why did I do this? Like I was doing so well. And now like I've got to save up money and I've got to work extra hard. But you'll be able to pull it together. So don't worry about that. That's gonna be an easy thing. So I don't know if this is your folks, your family, love interest, but it feels kind of family. It feels like you're gonna miss family. But family is sometimes immovable. Like they just don't want to move on with us. They just don't want to go where we're going to go. But it's something that's going to bother you. It's something that is going to be kind of under your skin all the time. However, if you learn to manage it, if you kind of learn that, if you kind of coach yourself through it and give yourself like that therapy, like, reality is that, I live here now. This is where I'm building my life. This is the rest of my life. That was one of the things when I moved to California, which is a very different culture from the East Coast of the United States. It's not the difference between like United States culture and culture in the Middle East and Dubai. But it's a very different culture, and that was something that I had to adjust to. That it was like not New Jersey. I would tell everybody that came out to visit me, like they would have to bring a pizza, they would have to bring bagels. So, hi, Greg. Greg just came in. Gregopedia is in the house. So, this being considered, Dubai, I think, like I said, there's going to be a period of time where you have to kind of recoup funds, recoup your bearings after you get there. You're going to be a little homesick for people. But is there a better place for you? A better place for you? This is wild. That's a wild little series of cards. Deb says hi. Greg says hi. So I think that it's the moving away that creates some conflict for you, because you almost feel like you're doing people dirty by leaving. And you also feel like you're giving up people by leaving. But make the decision, because you can't live in two places. Nana says hi. Nana Julian. And Foxy says hi. Everyone's saying hi to you. Greg says, okay, hi. So this is something I think you have to sort out before you make a decision to go anywhere. Because you can't have a foot in both places. So resonates about trying. I'm just pulling up your comment there. You can't have a foot in both places. So like for me, when I was in California, one of my best friends was a flight attendant, so I could jump on a plane anytime and come back. So I was basically kind of living in two places at once. I didn't have a residence here, but my parents were here. I had plenty of friends that I could stay with. So, was I planting roots there? I did buy a house. I was fairly rooted there, but I just never assimilated into the culture. It just, California, it was, everybody says all the nuts and fruits live in California. And like, I didn't feel like they were nutty and fruity. I felt like they were kind of mean. Uh, Northern California was a little bit nicer. So, but that's not the issue that you're going to have, Alicia. The issue that you're going to have is this psychology of detaching from where you are and understanding that your home now becomes a vacation place. It becomes a place that you go to kind of hang out for a little while, not for a long time. So, kind of interesting. The long range plan, I think about it a little bit longer with this 4 of Swords. This'll help you make the decision and psychologically get yourself to another country. But over here, the long range, you have to figure out what's going to make you happiest in the long range. Is it happiest to be in a different place? Is it happiest to be with family? Is it happiest to be with your people? So just give me a second. And yes, Grumpy, I do see that comment. And so, Alicia, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to flip over to Butterfly Babe Fitness. A clue about your career or country. All right, I'm going to have to, this is going to be my last one, guys, because I got to go to the dentist because I'm a dentist. This is going to be mostly psychic, but I'm going to use a few cards. Oop, sloppy shuffle again. Sorry, guys. It is one of my hashtags. Sloppy shuffle. Oh, guys, I want to introduce you to the most fabulous person that I know. And did you see my post on Facebook? I posted Pearl Jam, I'm alive. I tagged her in it too. Because I'm a complete arse. So all right, let's get back to him. I did. Thanks for coming by, Lori. Let's get together this weekend. Tomorrow night, maybe. So, all right, Butterfly Babes Fitness. Let's see. Career. Let's start with career. This is going to be my last one for the day, guys, because I got to go to the dentist. All right, so career-wise, all right, so there's somebody you're trying to make happy. Who are you trying to make happy? Is this a parent? Is this an expectation? Um, the efforts. Yeah, here's a little funny story for you. So, I've had a number of different careers. I went to university. I was an English and history major. I subsequently wound up training security dogs. And then after when I had my kids, I took some time off, and then I went back to work in the insurance industry because I didn't know what to do. And I when I was working security dogs, it was like an 80-hour week, and it didn't seem conducive to raising children. But my mother had always wanted me to be a journalist. And somehow I just became a psychic journalist on the Psychic News Report, another channel that I have with Deborah Schoen. She's in the comments here. She's one of the psychics on it. Thor Sandalwood, Rick Paul, the psychic medium, and Tarot Destiny. And it's hosted by my friend Rob Acampora. So you never know where you're going to wind up. If someone is advising you to go in a certain career path, you may wind up there eventually, but the cards are saying you don't have to appease anyone. What you should do is follow what your heart is telling you. Now, I don't know if this is saying like I'm getting like I am absolutely getting that you're going to continent hop because of the job, but it's almost like there's like a Peace Corps kind of situation. I'm not saying the Peace Corps, but it's like you're going to get in with what you want to do is go, and you're afraid that that's going to kind of set you off on a different path. But bless you, my goodness. It's all the what?
Nothing.
Oh, so I know what it is. So that was a dramatic, majestic sneeze that you made, though. Yes, lovely. So, is it raining?
Yes.
Ah, that too. Wonderful. Did you block me in?
No.
Thank you. So, I do see a continent hopping, but it's going to be through an organization that has something to do with what your heart's desire is. So, like I said, like the Peace Corps or something like that, you're going to be able to get into an organization like that, jump over to another continent, kind of get a taste of this. And what it's going to do, it's not going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to stay here, but it's going to give you more data to work with so that you can figure out where you're going to wind up. Okay. So I think that that's really, instead of pointing you to a specific country, instead of pointing you to a specific career, look into this heart. Look into your heart and figure out what's gonna make you jump out of bed in the morning. My new job, I left my corporate job in September, and I'm doing this full time since, but I've been doing this for 35 years. So, I doing this, I literally am jumping out of bed and, working until the wee hours of the night. Last night, I actually was still working when Gregopedia was like, I'm going to bed, and he always goes to bed before I do. So, that's what you need to do. You need to figure out what's going to make you jump out of bed every morning, and you're going to embrace the work, and it's not going to feel like work anymore. Like this doesn't feel like work to me. It doesn't feel like work at all. What? Like spiders?
They make you jump out of bed in the morning.
Spiders jump out of bed in the morning?
They make you jump out.
They do. They do. Oh, Foxy, go on. I'm almost 53 years old. In July, I will be 53. Once upon a time when we were sitting on the porch whittling our cell phones. Greg, did you ever whittle a cell phone?
No. No, I had one of those Nokia. You couldn't destroy those.
No, you couldn't. They were great. I had one of the construction ones, which was you could throw that across the room. So yeah, so I think there's going to be an opportunity. So explore what you want to do. What is going to make you happy? What's going to jump you out of the bed every single day? And then look at some opportunities where you can do that for an organization that's going to, give you board and bed. That is really, I think, a very interesting aspect of this. So, but I do see a continent hopping. I do see jumping into another place. Grumpy Sapper, July 12th, dead smack in the middle of the summer. That is my birthday. Dead smack in the middle of the summer. It is the apex of the summer. You are very welcome, Butterfly Babes Fitness. And Alicia, you are very welcome too. I'm excited to see what's going to go on with you. Both of you. You guys should partner up. Start traveling the world. Start continent hopping. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Oh, Foxy. I'm old enough to be your mama. Oh, Penny, I'm jealous you're working outside. We're going to have like 3 days of rain here. It's going to be crazy wet, and it's not even 50 degrees right now. That's why I'm wearing this crazy sweatshirt. Oh, Foxy, go on. The worst part is I'm older than Gregopedia, so. Right, Greg? I'm older than you.
Only age.
Only in age? We're both pretty immature.
I'm trying to make it sound better.
Well, we act like idiots. Yeah. We have a basement full of toys and tarot cards, so go figure. So yeah, I like going to the dentist, guys. I have zero issue with going to the dentist. I have good teeth. I take care of my teeth. Oh, Grumpy, you're July 21st. That's fantastic.
Get a candy bar. Oh,
Yeah.
candy bar.
Are you looking at the comments right now?
No.
Yeah, I was thinking because of a dentist, and Lori Glickman was like, she was like, I love the Little Shop of Horrors reference. Greg saying, I'm going to get a candy bar. I'm going to get a candy bar. Oh, and Foxy, you're the 22nd of June. That's awesome. Oh, wait, Grumpy, are you? Rinse now, spit. Yeah, Lori wants to know. All right, so I'll tell you guys a story before I jump off. So, Lori was over. Lori's a friend of mine, a real life friend, and she came over a few weeks ago, and Greg got this new tabletop fire pit, and oh my god, I wish I could show pictures of it. This little tabletop fire pit. And as he was leaving for work, he said, "Oh, I got this new tabletop fire pit. I'm going to light it up for you guys." So he lights it up, and we had it on the lanai. We have a screened-in porch off the side of our house, and it was on this wicker table with a glass top. So Lori goes out there, and she goes, "And I think you better come out here." Like when he started it up, it had like little flame, like this high off top. And she goes, "I think you better come out here." And the flames were really high. So I said, "Well, let's put the lid on it. And, we'll put a lid on it and we'll just shut it down." Now, this little fire pit had little holes all on the sides so that the heat would come out. So we put the lid on top. And Lori went back out there, and I'm making bacon in the meantime. I'm making bacon sandwiches for us, BLTs. And so I'm not saying that. So I can't disclose Lori. So it just suffice it to say it was 420. So it was 420. So we decided to put the lid on top of it, a pot lid, one of my pot lids. We put it on top, and I went back out. We took the lid off. There's this big poof of smoke that came out. So that was wild. And then it really started to burn, and the flames were like 18 inches off the top. It was like a little tiny like coffee can. There were like flames like 18 inches off, and so when the flames on the side of my face, so the flames were like 18 inches off, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't even know what to do. So I had a fire blanket in the kitchen. It's a oh, Grumpy, I'll send you the picture. It's hilarious. So I grabbed this fire blanket, and I went out there. And so the fire blanket's made out of like fiberglass. So I'm like, okay, this will just shut it down. We'll just put it on. We'll be done with it. We won't have to worry about it. So I put the fire blanket on it, and smoke is pluming. Oh, and I forgot to say, there's also this horrible gelatinous black liquid, like it was possessed. It was like oozing out of it and going all over the table. And I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna have to call the fire department. Like Greg's gonna freak out if I have to call the fire department. So we put the fire blanket on top, and the flames went out, sort of, but there's smoke pluming out from under there's smoke just pouring out, and the fire blanket is turning black because it's still burning. So I'm like, oh my god. I said, we're gonna have to dump this in a bucket of water. So I go all the way. Our yard's really long, so I go all the way out to the fire pit at the back of the yard. I get the fire bucket, I fill it up with water, I bring it over. I totally thought we were going to burn the house down. And I picked the thing up and I dumped it in there. It's like this big steam thing. Oh my God. It was so funny at the end of it all. I mean, I didn't panic again because it was 420. I wasn't panicking, but it was an event. It was an event. So, but Lori, I'm always an event, right? You got to do welfare checks on me. But all right, so this got silly. I'm going to the dentist, guys. Everybody have a great Friday. Yeah, very calm. I didn't panic. It was not I was not panicking. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for all the super chat, super stickers, Venmo. Thank you very much. I'm going to do private readings for the rest of the day after I get back from the dentist. But if you guys would like a reading from me, just email me at FortuneCookiesTarot. Or actually, don't do that. Go to FortuneCookiesTarot.com and you can book right through there. I think I have plenty of availability on. Oh, no. Sunday, I'm going to have a little bit of availability. Tomorrow night, I'll keep more availability open because I don't want to work on Mother's Day. I'm going to have some Bloody Marys on Mother's Day. So I will see you all soon. There's plenty of availability during the week. So take care. Have a great night. Bye, guys.